Good morning and welcome to this stellar gathering to celebrate the 21st birthday party of the Oxfordshire Community Foundation. The guest list today certainly covers those 21 years pretty comprehensively. There are a number of people here who were in, if you like, at the beginning. Fons et Origo, Liz Brighouse, who I think inspired the idea of setting up a community foundation in Oxfordshire. Early trustees, John Harwood, John Bridgman, Martin Wood, Robin Birch, Anna Moon, Jane Waits. Others who have known the foundation through parts of its history: Bishop Anthony Russell, Stephanie North, who chaired our grants committee for probably more years than she cares to remember. A previous chair, Simon Stubbings. And a number of other people who may not know quite as much about Oxfordshire's Community Foundation as perhaps they should. Within an hour or so, that will have been put right, because the purpose of today is both to celebrate and to tell you more about the things that are going on with the Community Foundation at the moment. I am privileged to be the president of the foundation. The first president was my predecessor, but one, Ashley Punsonby, who helped considerably with the first round of fundraising. And I'm pleased to say that one of his sons and his daughter-in-law, Luke and Nikki Punsonby, are also with us today. The Communities Foundation's second president, Hugo Brunner, is also here, and I know that he put a lot of his time and energy into it during his 12 years as Oxfordshire's Lord Lieutenant. Lord Lieutenants are blessed with a telephone directory of a guide which sort of tells us what we might and might not do. But what's important for this gathering is the second paragraph of that guide, which says that it's part of our duty to promote a good atmosphere and a spirit of cooperation by the encouragement that Lord Lieutenants can give to voluntary and benevolent organisations. Now, it didn't take me very long in my early green days as Oxfordshire's Lord Lieutenant to know that a flourishing community foundation would be an important way of fulfilling that part of my function as Lord Lieutenant. And I therefore rather deliberately took an engaged interest in what it does and how it does it. And it has been a great privilege to be involved in that way. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that on its 21st birthday, Oxfordshire's Community Foundation is in great shape. It's well and creatively managed. It has strong governance. It's developing exciting plans, which you're shortly going to hear about, for the what next. Now, Lord Lieutenants are not competitive one with another, or not very much anyway, but we do have an aspiration in Oxfordshire that our community foundation should be up there at the top of the league in terms of the quantum of philanthropic funds that are channeled through the foundation into the voluntary sector, and the way in which the foundation creatively supports what the voluntary sector does. The arguments for doing it in some different ways you're going to hear about shortly. They are very well put together, and they're also necessary at a time when, and this of course is a commonplace currently, the voluntary sector is generally under significant pressure. And where oddly in Oxfordshire there is a surprisingly deep need for the sort of support that a community foundation can provide, helping the substantial cohorts of disadvantaged people that there are in our communities, some of which you will be able to read about in, I hope I'm not displaying something too early today, a splendid piece of research that has been done by the Community Foundation, which I think you will have an opportunity of taking away today. It is sobering reading. But back to the question of celebration, there is a great deal to celebrate in terms of what the Community Foundation has achieved. Community foundations across the country effectively work together in terms of best practice, in terms of thinking about and implementing new ideas for being even more effective at what they do. And in that context, it's a particular privilege and a delight for me to welcome Sir Dominic Cadbury, who is the next speaker. Dominic lives in Oxfordshire, but very close to the boundary of the county, which I suppose is a sort of excuse, Dominic, for the fact that you are heavily involved as a trustee of our neighbouring community foundation, the Heart of England. And in that context, Dominic, we are particularly grateful for the support you've also given to us. Thank you for coming. Over to you.